I've gotten positive feedback for my previous guided clubbell workouts, and I know for myself, it's really helpful to have a coach checking in on my form and being reminded of those cues. So, this guided full body clubbell workout is two-handed. We will switch which hand is on top each round, and I'll have an array of weights available for myself, specifically a 10, a 15, and I'm going to have my brand new 8X adjustable club set at 17.5 to start. So we have 8 moves. We're doing 4 rounds of 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. So let's get to it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click the bell for notifications, like this video, share it with your friends and Clubbell family, and be sure to come back to this Clubbell playlist for more. So today I'm guiding through. I will be starting out with a 15-pound club because that is still pretty challenging for me. It's a great way to work on that two-handed work. I also have this 17-pound 8X. I'm super excited about it. Notice how much longer the handle is so that I can actually add more weight because it's adjustable. So first move is that side-to-side rocket. Here we go. Left hand on top. I'm going to bounce. I'm kind of pointing down at either end of my mat. Big bend in knees. This is a lot of quad work. Chest is nice and proud. And we bounce, bounce, bounce. Hips shift side to side. And you're really thinking about sitting back like you're in a chair. We have a head cast to squat front press. If today is not the day for front presses for you, that's okay. There are a few variations, but we're going to start with the most sort of simple. Okay? We go head cast, come back to order, lower down into that squat, and then press. Only going as deep in your squat as you feel like, oh, I'm working. You don't have to have your butt all the way down on the floor. You still just want to keep your chest up, shoulders packed down as you press away. So if you need to, you can always make the squat smaller so you can front press. Shoulder cast pendulum. Left hand is on top. Going with that left shoulder. And then we're doing an outside pendulum. Here we go. Shoulder cast. Pendulum. Both knees are bent as you do that pendulum. Again, pointing down to like a 45-degree angle. Letting the weight of the club pull you. Try not to anticipate the weight or the pull. Less than 10 now. We've got a bottom circle rotation. It's really all about learning how to sit into your hips. So you can catch the club and swing it. Left hand is on top, right? I'm going to sit into my right hip, press away, and then circle back. We're just going in the same direction as the hand that is dominant today. Certainly do it any way you want. Sit into that hip, rotate. probably one of my most favorite moves. Not necessarily a beginner move, but we're gonna do it slowly. Work on it step by step. Left hand is on top. We're going inside and across the body. Down and around. We're finding order. Up and over. Down and around. Think of it as a head cast. It can also be a shoulder cast, and then you're really using those hips to rotate the body, which also helps hold the club up and over. Notice I'm sitting in that hip again. Squat clocks are next. Again, it's not about how deep your squat is, but the important part of this is controlling bringing the club to either shoulder. Don't just let it thunk on your shoulder. Left hand on top, bring it onto that left shoulder, swing around, gently let it rest, and squat. You need to widen up feet. Feel free, but you can also keep the squat to just where you begin to feel the work of a squat. Try to make sure you're still spreading the earth with your feet here so that your knees go out in line with your toes. 2 more moves in this round. We've got a shield cast coming up next. Left hand is on top, 2 hands are on, we're going over the right ear. So I'm going over the opposite ear. I love that little tiny look to the side where that club is going, because it opens up my body to making space for the club, especially when I have my hair up in a bun. I often end up hitting it, and this is a way to help reduce that and get more of that rotation. Last move in this round, balance alternating squat. So we're going to balance alternating lunge, pardon me. Looking at a point, pick one point, try to focus on it. That will help you stay balanced. Step back lunge, squeeze that butt. You're standing tall. We're not leaning, no arching. Step back with control. And then press into the balls of the feet to come back up. Shoulders are packed down. Take your time here. If it feels real wobbly, you can always make it smaller. It does not have to be a crazy deep lunge to start. Round 1 done. Right hand is going to go on top now. Same thing. Go back to those side-to-side rockets. And bounce. Chest is nice and proud. Knees are bent. We're thinking about sitting back in a chair. Club is going at about a 45-degree angle. We don't want it to be too high. Right, if you're swinging kind of side to side, different move. And rest. Head cast. Squat front press is next. Go right over the head, as opposed to a shoulder. Find order. Then squat, then press. Head cast. I'm not leaning back, squeezing the glutes, core is engaged. To pull back down. Squat, front press. Try to get those arms straight. That's the press. If they're not straight, it's not a full press. Shoulder cast pendulum coming up next. Right hand on top, right shoulder, outside pendulum. Right shoulder, pendulum. Slow it down if you need to. Allow the weight to pull you. So I really find once you get into 10, 15 and higher weights, it's a lot easier to do this movement because you really get the feeling of the weight pulling you. Still pointing down to the ground at a 45-degree angle. Hip roll. Resist the club and go in the opposite direction, right? We have that bottom circle, all about shifting your weight. Right hand is on top, and sit into that left hip. Just swing around. This is the clubbell, in case you haven't noticed. So everything we do ends up kind of breaking down for another more complex movement. Get better and better at it. We have those inside mills. Now we're going inside across the body that way. So the right hand is on top. I like to start with my weaker hand because it gets tired faster, you know? Here we go. So that same bottom, we're here finding order, and then up and over. Some people think of it as going over your head. Perfectly acceptable. Some people think of it as going over that shoulder. And you always want to be really rotating the hips because that hip rotation is what helps pull the club back around. Finding the order position every time. Squat clocks are next. Almost done with this second round. Sweating. Again, we're only squatting as deep as you feel comfortable today. Resting that club on the right side, right hand is on top. Swing around. Rest it on the shoulder. Squat. Squat. Not only do we not really want bruises on our shoulder, the work of having to control the weight as you swing and step it onto your body to rest it, that's actually really, really hard. The swing, not as hard. You know, that's a full body movement. Here, that's the hard one. Shield cast, right hand is on top. We're gonna go over the left ear. Your hands get sweaty, have a towel, wiping on your pants, whatever. Here we go. Over the left ear. Opposite ear, either way. Right? So if I'm keeping my face looking forward, it's a little bit more work. It's a little bit more challenging. It's still something I can do. Elbows are coming right by my ears. But as soon as I look to the side where I want that club to go, I get more rotation in my body. Everything just opens up. It gets that much easier. Less work for me. One more move in this round. Step back lunge. Looking at a point in front of you to focus. Right hand on top. Here we go. Allowing your lunge to be whatever it is today. Better to be smaller and safer than really trying to extend, especially if you're using a challenging weight. Shoulders are packed down, core is engaged every time you move. Whew. Try some of these moves with this 17, I think it's 2.5, 17.25. Just see how it's different, right? This bottom end is so much heavier than the handle, so this is actually easier doing this. Feel very much like a clock. Tick, tock, tick, tock. The weight is doing all the hard work for me. But I do feel that it is heavier. So the hardest thing with this, besides the fact that it's heavier, is going to be anything that's balancing the weight. Head cast, front press. Left hand is on top. You come here and press, right? I'll show you what I mean as you continue on with this heavier weight. Just holding in order like this is more difficult because it's so top heavy. Head cast. Find that balance. Woo! Front press is real hard now. A little bit more wobble. That's okay. That's how we test things. That's how we challenge ourselves. Learn and grow. Shoulder cast pendulum. We're going over to that left side. Shoulder cast, outside pendulum. Spreading the earth with my feet the whole time. Letting the weight pull me. So, because I'm playing with it, you guys get to see how things change for me with this different weight. Definitely more challenging. We have that border to bottom swing. Let's try it right away with this. So besides the fact that this is not knurled in the same way, the handle, so sitting into my right hip, swing around. Woo. You really feel the weight pulling, and it's so condensed compared to these tackler clubs. But the swing on the bottom part is so much easier. Woo. I'm not trying to with that just yet. I might not have the control I would like. So go back to the 15. Left hand is still on top. We're going inside and across the body, down and around, up and over. Again, notice that I'm looking at the club quite a lot of the time. As they say, where your head goes, your eyes go, your body follows. Squat clocks are next. Definitely have sweatier hands this round. Besides the fact that I'm getting tired, the weight makes a difference. So, climbing it, resting, you squat, swing. Woo, that control is harder. Right, there's a whole lot of forearms at work here. There's a lot of grip strength and control that's happening. Shield cast. Again, these things that are more focused on the upper body, definitely going to be harder in this position. Left hand is on top. We have a shield cast. Tucking that pelvis under, spreading the earth with our feet as we swing with the opposite ear. Hello, Pepper. She loves clubbell too. Turn to the side. Pelvis is tucked. Feet are working. Right? Everything is working here. Trying to find order. If you notice your way up here, adjust or move down in weight. Right? Meaning you're just not ready for that weight, and that's okay. Alright. In this round, that step back lunge. We'll see. Hands are sweaty. Trying it with the 8X. Keeping it balanced and upright is the hardest part. So feel free to slow down the move. It's not about how many reps you do. It really is about how nice and clean they are. Shoulders are packed down. Round 3 done. 1 more to go. And then we get into the cool down. This is as much about learning and trying things for me as it is for you. So starting with that. Rocket, side. And now that I've used this 17-pound club on my left hand, I want to try and work evenly with my right on top, even though I'm getting tired. So if I need to move down, no big deal. Bounce, bounce. I'm not just swaying, I'm bouncing. Whew. Starting with 15. Head cast, squat, front press. Squat, front press. Pretty much right on target, right? If you're feeling like this is now pretty difficult in this fourth round, you know you are right on track in terms of the weight that you're using and the timing. Not saying it should be so difficult that you fail, just you should be feeling fatigued. And like, whoa, this is a challenge. You know, struggling a little bit at the end of each work period. Shoulder cast pendulum. Allowing the hips to rotate in the direction that club is going. Calming your breathing. Are you breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth? In through your nose the whole time, which is a great goal to have. Sticking with this 15. So I can keep talking through this workout, really. We have that bottom circle coming up. All right, I'm gonna sit into that hip, swing around. Some people really like to pivot with their feet, totally acceptable. I like to start with flat feet, so you're really feeling this in the hip, what that is capable of, before we add on or find compensations. All right, because the body will find a way. But if you can do this with flat feet, you can certainly add that pivot. Nice and clean. More moves. Inside mill is coming up next. Here we go. Down and around, just like we just did. And then up and out. Using that hip rotation to really get the club over. Feel free to slow it down, find order, circle, find order, around, find order. Stopping in order is actually very difficult. Making it more technical, it's going to be more challenging. And then when you want to do performance and just kind of flow, it'll feel a little easier. So you're not making those hard stumps every time. Squat clocks are next. Good, right shoulder. So now that I'm sweaty, it's especially important to have really good control over this club so it does not slip around. So now slow down. You can wipe yourself down. You can wipe the club down. And that's what the Maryland is really great for. And just a squat there. Oh well. Here we go. Almost there. Shield cast is next. Right hand on top, left ear. So again, tucking that pelvis under, shoulders pegged down, spreading the earth with my feet, and then I have a little look, right? I don't have to turn my head real far. Just the eyes. That's enough. Finding that order position. One more move. We just have that step back lunge. And then we get to cool down. Fantastic work. Here we go. Right hand on top. Squeezing the glutes to the top, making sure the club isn't wobbling. You're still really focused on that, but you're not looking at the club because I find that makes it harder to balance actually. Almost there. Whew. Beautiful job, everybody. So excited to share these with you. Let's get into that cool down. Whew. Nice, wide, much wider than hip width apart. In that squat, pressing shoulder forward, shoulder. If that is difficult for you, feel free to come a little bit higher. And here, when you get into that squat, you really feel it through the whole spine. Such great work, everyone. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy these workouts as much as I do. I'm excited to be bringing new tools like this ADEX adjustable club, which is a great option so that you can continually be growing, and it reduces how much space you need for all of your training tools. I will have a link in the description below where you can get yours, as well as the tackle clubs that I love and will never get rid of. So please, if you enjoyed this workout, drop me a comment, let me know what you thought, what you'd like to see. I'd love for you to reach out to me with any kind of specifics for what you're looking for in your training sessions. And please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and reach out to me via any of my social medias. I'm always available for questions, comments, suggestions. I love it all. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Have a great day.